When discussions of Nazi crimes arise, responsibility is often associated primarily with the Schutzstaffel and the party leadership. After World War II, a story spread across Europe and America. The regular army, the Wehrmacht, had fought professionally, honorably, separate from genocide. It helped families sleep at night. It became one of the most successful narratives of the 20th century. However, there was only one problem. The evidence said otherwise. Germany in 1945 was destroyed. Cities flattened, millions dead. Revelations of extermination camps spreading across the world. Because military service had touched nearly every family, a complete identification of the armed forces with criminality would have implied collective guilt on a vast scale. A distinction therefore developed between ideological organizations, especially the SS, and the traditional military establishment. This division offered emotional and political distance from the regime while allowing veterans to reintegrate into civilian life. During the Nuremberg trials, major leaders were prosecuted for crimes against peace, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. While certain groups were declared criminal organizations, the Wehrmacht was not outlawed in the same manner. The tribunal instead tried specific individuals. Although the judges criticized the conduct of the military leadership in strong terms, former officers promoted this reading, arguing that soldiers had fulfilled their duty while political authorities bore responsibility for atrocities. The developing confrontation between East and West soon increased the value of German military experience against the Soviet Union. Under American sponsorship, numerous ex-officers participated in historical projects designed to analyze combat operations. One of the most influential figures was Franz Halder, who supervised large numbers of manuscripts. These studies often highlighted operational competence, material inferiority, and interference from Hitler, while giving limited attention to cooperation with occupation and extermination policies. The result was not a complete fabrication, but a selective framework that reinforced the image of a largely conventional army. From the 1960s onward, and with greater intensity in the following decades, historians began reassessing this picture. Access to war diaries, orders, and personal correspondence allowed scholars to reconstruct everyday practices within units. Research by figures such as Umar Bartov demonstrated that ideological indoctrination and harsh anti-Bolshevik and anti-Semitic attitudes were widespread in many formations deployed in the East. Other historians documented repeated patterns of cooperation between army commands and killing operations carried out by security forces. The shield finally shattered in the 1990s. The Wehrmacht exhibition toured Germany and Austria, displaying 1400 grainy private photographs taken by soldiers themselves. They were not photos of brave combat. They were photos of ordinary soldiers laughing while standing over mass graves or participating in public hangings. For many, it was the first time the collective perjury was met with visual proof. The backlash was violent. A bomb was even detonated at the exhibition in Saarbrücken, but the truth was out. The academic work of historians like Umar Bartov and Wolfram Witt had finally reached the public. The clean hands were actually stained red. In 2018, the German Ministry of Defense made it official. A new decree stated clearly, the Wehrmacht as an institution has no place in the traditions of the modern German military. Facilities named after Wehrmacht officers were renamed. The era of "but they were good soldiers" was over. The clean Wehrmacht was a necessary life for a post-war world, a fiction that allowed a nation to rebuild. But as we have seen, history has a way of catching up the present. The Wehrmacht wasn't a victim of Hitler, it was his most powerful tool. Knowing this doesn't just change how we look at the past, it changes how we monitor the institutions of the future.